All right, ladies and gentlemen, back for another episode of The Mix Behind the Mic. Special episode today. Our guest today, Lindsay Pagano, lead singer of the HeartBeats wedding band, in the wedding business 10 plus years, former contestant on The Voice, and did something with Scooby-Doo that we're going to get to later, but we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Lindsay, welcome on the show.
Thank you so much.
Excited to have you on. Backstory, me and Lindsay's sister have been friends for years, always knew who each other were in the business. And when we started talking one day about wedding DJs and whatnot, and MCs, if you will, I was like, oh my God, let's get you on the pod. So here we go. We've had event planners, we've had sales managers at catering venues, we've had DJs, we haven't had anyone in the band scene yet. So you're the first.
I'm a first timer.
So, well,
hey.
So I always get into the pods with backstory. Tell us about you, how you got into it, etc. Paint the picture.
So I've been in the business per se from a very young age. So I got a record deal when I was 12 years old with Warner Brothers Records, and I lived in LA for most of my teenage years, put out an album, kind of did like the original scene for a long time. And then when I turned about like 18, I was like a senior in high school. I came back to the area. I was just feeling like I just needed some like childhood normalcy, honestly. But in a couple years after that, I was starting to just kind of get the itch again, because I don't really feel like I'm myself unless I'm singing in a way.
Okay.
And so I found the HeartBeats wedding band when I was about 29-ish. I was in that band for about 5 years. And then I was at that time kind of feeling like I was missing out on a lot of things because I was so young. I wanted to kind of explore like the club life and do that kind of thing.
Sure.
So I was in a band called Stellar Mojo for about 5 years. We did a lot of clubs. We traveled a lot. It was really super crazy. And when COVID hit, the band members just kind of like the pandemic went on for so long that people just started to feel like they needed to do things, and the band wasn't coming back together. So now I think individually everybody's just kind of been in and out of the business in their own way. But I have found myself back in the HeartBeats where I started in weddings and corporates. And so I've been having a really good time with that. And I feel like at this point, I just kind of want to be a part of the private market and kind of stay there. So that's, the HeartBeats welcomed me back, and we're always on good terms. And so that's just kind of what we're doing now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's very easy for someone like myself to understand the nightlife aspect versus the private aspect of it. And obviously it all kind of makes sense. And it's a different ball game, different animal, if you will.
Very different atmospheres. And I think it's an age thing,
It's got to be.
I was 29 and feeling like, these weddings are great, but it's not that exciting. And now I have a completely opposite stance on it.
Working till 2 versus working till 11 is a great starting point of pros and cons of what aspect of the...
As a singer, I know how this is going to sound, but as a singer, I don't have to like get my hands dirty anymore in a wedding dress. We have a crew, we have people, that are specifically dedicated to that. And so now it's like I get to show up in a dress and feel pretty and sing my ballads, and I love it. I'm loving it right now.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about the band for starters. Like vibes, is it eclectic? Are you guys all over the place with music? Are you a niche market of something specific?
We're definitely, as a band, not really niche specific. The band has been around for 30 plus years. Okay. And so anything that you could request to this band, at least 5 people in the band know the song and can do it, which is awesome. I think as singers individually, we all kind of have our thing. So I'm more on like the pop R&B side of things. Trish is definitely like your Lady Gaga pop anthem singer that you want. And Patty is like a soulful rock. She's like Janis Joplin still here.
Okay.
And so we have a really nice eclectic mix because we can just cover so many things in one band. So it's kind of like no matter what kind of bride and groom we meet, we usually can cover the core songs that they're looking for, and and then we will just add in the requests that they want, and it's just been like a really kind of like dream experience because we're really not specific to one thing. We cover pretty much everything.
How many people in the band?
There's 13 of us with the horn section. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot of standing and elbows touching.
Sure. I mean, it makes total sense. So give us I was gonna say give us examples of, you said pop and R&B, but like, do you have favorites? Do you get sick of playing the same songs even if you like them? Like,
I'm like, if you throw a Mariah or a Whitney at me, I am my happiest self.
Okay.
So if you can imagine, like, we all cover a good bit of like power ballads, but I think as far as like 90s, like Whitney Mariah era, that's kind of like, as soon as Nick sees that on the list, he just knows that that's where I want to be.
Yes. Okay. In the wedding aspect of a singer in a band, you see things, especially if you've been this 10 plus years. I'm always curious for listeners of, what are you loving that might be something new that you saw? Is there anything that's gone that you miss? And these are simple questions that I often ask everybody that's in the business. I mean,
we talked about this.
Yeah. But
I'm going to say that live band DJ fusion thing that like people when they do it, like they do it really well. And I feel like even for a wedding, I think some brides and grooms would kind of like the wedding entertainment to know when it's time to like take a back seat and let them be the focus. I even feel like the fusion acts, like they do that well too. And it's just something different where like I think it gives it a little bit of a club feel in a way.
Sure.
But it's something new and different that I haven't seen a lot in person, that I feel like we're going to see more of like in the next coming years.
Does that take anything away? So before I ask this question, I always think that there's a million weddings out there. I'm never like as competitive with people in the business that I was in my earlier days. But I'm always curious if you or people in the band aspect of things ever think that that's like taking away from you guys or like watering it down, if you will, because there is more DJs with 1, 2, even 3 live musicians playing alongside them now.
I think it's something different. I don't necessarily feel like it takes away from the live aspect because a lot of times I've seen that it's not really the DJ that's kind of like the MC.
Right.
But I also just think it opens up a whole new avenue of things that you could bring to a live band. So it opens up more possibilities to like, that fusion aspect of it where like we could see when I see something like that, I see like, ooh, that'd be really cool to add here, as opposed to like, ooh, they're taking that away from us.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It just kind of popped in my head, so I figured I'd ask. Expectations versus reality is something we bring up on almost every episode.
Okay.
And I'm always, people, you even said it before we got on the pod of, what's the bloopers going to look like? So is there any stories that come to mind that I always love bringing up, like that you had a couple that wanted to do X, but it was really not what it wanted to be kind of thing? I always, it's not like, first off, you always told me I could put you on the spot. So
Okay.
but I always try to find that like story of, hey, this bride and groom loved, this, whether it's a song or whether they wanted to do some kind of introduction certain way. And it was, I don't want to say catastrophe, but they're generally the best stories that we have for people, if you will.
Yeah. 2 things come to mind. I saw a bride and groom try to do that like Bananas Foster. Like,
Keith, we're in a computer, Keith. Keith, we're in a computer. Please, can you sit down now? Like, can you just come in this mid-pod?
in here.
Bro, I can't.
Bananas Foster.
I can't.
So it's basically like,
how does that come up today? How is that on my bingo sheet today?
Listen.
Like, what?
So I saw somebody try to do that. And they tried to do it with the servers on roller skates.
Okay.
Did he explain to you exactly what it is?
I have no clue.
It's basically like it makes me feel like you're in like a mummers parade.
Okay.
But they're showcasing the dessert. And they bring out these like, like you're kind of in a like a buffet style.
Okay.
And they kind of bring it out and they like parade around the dessert to people.
Okay.
But the servers were on roller skates. And it was like one guy didn't brake fast enough.
And it just
ran into the next guy.
What kind of desserts are they? What kind of desserts?
It's Foster. It's like a metal, that metal casing like a buffet. Like the thing
Okay, right.
like this.
Yeah.
And there's like bananas, and then there's like an ice cream station, and I think there's like some kind of like cake that's heated.
I can't believe that.
It's like a hot banana split.
He was trying to explain.
It's kind of like a hot banana split, right?
We're in a computer.
It's like on it. I made it the other day. As I was trying to tell you, I made it. Like you take it, you caramelize brown sugar, the butter, and you put the bananas in, and you flambe it with raw.
It's a flambe. That's the word I was missing.
And it flames up perfect. You put ice cream on top.
And they like light it on fire, and they parade it around.
I have a recipe if you want it.
I have another one. If you don't understand the bananas Foster thing.
I mean, we're just gonna get so much hate on me that I'm 40 years old and I don't know what that is, but
it's a mixed podcast. They are the anti-bananas Foster.
Yeah.
The other one I would say is the dancing on a cloud thing.
Okay.
I saw that go so awry. One time, they were not dancing on a cloud. They were dancing on like a tiny little pillow of cotton candy that only went to the left.
Till I go here.
I don't know what it was that went wrong, but basically what happened is like the clouds started to come, and then there was a fan of some sort. So only the bride and her feet were dancing on a cloud, and the groom got none of it. So it almost looked like Bruce Almighty when he does when he separates the clouds. But it was only on one side, and it was
so
not what she was expecting.
When I think of a dancing on first off, I offer it. We do it at weddings.
Okay.
So when I think of a dancing on the cloud disaster, I think of you. You seem like it was the minimum amount of clouds that were there, right? Or one section. Small set.
No. The clouds started to go into where the guests were.
Oh, okay. This is where
all of the clouds were there, but they weren't directed to stay
on the dance floor
where they needed to be.
So one cardinal rule. So let me tell you that we've been offering for years. I've never done it myself. Okay. Never had to. We always have someone. Never done it myself. This summer. I'm doing a wedding. And we have a ton of weddings this day. Hence, I don't do that many weddings anymore. And I was doing weddings. So it tells you we had a bunch that day. So, Apex, our operations manager, he was like, you're going to do the clouds. And I'm like, all right, I'll do the clouds. Like we do them all the time. Now, shout out to Keith, who loves to go in the other room.
No big deal. I got the clouds. Throw on me.
So Keith's like, it's so easy, blah, blah, blah. Like I've seen them do it 100 times. And before we even offered them, I've always had like nightmare moments of like the clouds of like the entire room is just pure smoke. And like
the fire department.
I've heard so many stories, knock on wood, within our business. We've never had any bad experiences. And now me, the owner of the company, who we've been offering this for 5 years, maybe even more, probably about 5. So I walk into this venue and I say nothing about it. I walk into the venue and the maitre d' out of nowhere asked me if I worked for this company, and it was not mine. And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, them guys did the dancing on the clouds in here last night and blew the whole room out. And I'm literally like, am I getting punked right now? Like, I'm like, no way. So
it was in that moment. He knew.
So wait. So I'm like, and it's so simple. It's literally a machine that you put dry ice into, it heats up, it comes out. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, bride and groom, first dance. I run over to the machine and I pour the dry ice in and I go over and I'm scrunched down, and there's a latch that you close.
Yeah.
So you pour the dry ice in, you close the latch. Well, there was some sort of the cord got in the way and
Okay.
it wouldn't close. And it went poof up in my face. Now,
You were the cloud.
I was the cloud. Now,
You were the cloud.
I figured it out. It was 10 seconds. I figured it out. The rest of the time, everyone there told me I pulled it off fine. I was mortified, sweat pouring down my face. I just pictured like the videographers like making memes and reels out of me, and it all worked, but it was just like, wow, that's a lot. But
I'm just imagining you in the meme of like being crouched down on the floor and it happens and it's like that, oh no. Oh no.
yes,
no,
like,
no."
yes, like that's how, oh my God, I should like reach out to this. They're like, it's already coming, buddy. But
100%. But then you're the guy that reached out because you were trying to go viral, and now it's a whole other thing.
yeah, it's not.
Can't
And
put-
again, I don't want to be that guy. Again, it was 10 seconds. I felt like it was 20 minutes. And it was just like,
Yeah.
I just felt like sweat pouring down my face. And like, it's their first dance. Everyone has their eyes on them. But in that first 10 seconds, it just like caught, and I was in the corner, luckily, but
Isn't
it was
it
just,
crazy when something like that happens at a wedding? 10 seconds feels like 2.5 minutes.
well, that's, I mean,
And you feel like everyone's looking at you, but like no one's really looking at you, but you feel like they are.
I have a totally off the wall question, but I don't really have these conversations with people in bands often. But like, but when we do first dances or parent dances, we very rarely play the full songs. So how does that play for you guys?
We read the room. So a lot of times we find a bride will say like, I want to dance to the whole song with my dad. Like it means something to us.
Sure.
And then in the moment, we always feel we can just feel our
nod
turn
or something.
like
Right.
so like we do and we don't. It's probably like 50-50 where we'll play the whole thing.
I just can't.
Most of the time we don't though.
Yeah. But like you're just mid verse, and all of a sudden you get a look and you're like, and that's all, give it up one more time. Like
We're always ready to just be like,
and I mean, I say,
give it up for the bride and her father, because
say the
it
same
can
thing.
happen at any moment. And because it's like, even when you feel like the bride is ready to cut it, that's another situation where 10 seconds feels like 2.5 if you don't catch on to it. So you got to read the room. So here's like a pet peeve of mine that I'll never understand.
okay, I'm here for it.
Okay. Say you have like a client, right, that reaches out to you for information on your band, your production, what have you. And you end up like talking to them pretty often for a couple of weeks about the event, like, and then the last thing they want is like something in writing of everything that you discuss, and you give them every option. And then like they ghost you.
I knew that's what was
Have you
going.
noticed that? Like in being the person who is like the person booking the band, in my experience in that area, it always confuses me because then they put you in the weirdest situation where you feel like, now I have to send a follow-up email. Wait, and then you feel like I will start the follow-up email with like, sorry if I'm bugging you, but like you bugged me. You came to me and then ghosted. It feels like you're on a dating app, but like the wedding.
Keep going. This might be my favorite thing ever.
It puts you in such a weird position. And then that happened to me once. And then I saw this girl out at a club when I was visiting my sister. And then I'm like sitting here after like a couple, right? And I'm like, I feel really awkward, but I shouldn't feel awkward. She came to me. She ghosted me. Like, and then we never ended up talking. And guess what happened after that?
What?
A week goes by and she comes up on my like people you may know.
100% that happens all the time.
And then I realized that when she ghosted me, she also unfriended me on Facebook. And I'm just like, maybe this is just, I don't know.
All right, so I have so much here. Thank you for bringing this up. And again, to listeners, like I want to, I always try to say things. I love
sticking baby in a corner when you do that.
There's so much I want to like. I could talk about this for an hour, but here's the gist.
I know who she is.
That's what I love too. They're my favorite. I'm always like, I switch things up a little bit so I don't like let people call them out. But
yeah,
when you're looking at vendors and you're going back and forth, now, if you reach out and there's a follow up and you don't have a connection, whatever, that's whatever. But like, if we have, I'll even say like, I do a lot of consults, like FaceTime. So like, we have a FaceTime. I send samples. We have multiple emails back and forth. If you're not going to book us, that's fine. And I don't ever get butthurt. But
Yeah.
Always just simply like, hey, we decided to go another direction. Hey, congrats on your engagement.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me know.
If you
Like,
do
that's it.
that, you will not put someone in a position to even follow up with you, and it won't get weird.
I love your comparison to dating almost.
It's
Where it's
100%.
Like it's,
It feels like you were talking on Hinge,
I love this.
and then you were texting and texting and texting, and then you finally had a FaceTime, and you were ugly, and they didn't want to tell you that you were ugly, and so they just ghosted you without wanting to say something. Right?
It's so, I mean,
Is that weird? Am I the only one?
no, I mean, I can't compare it to that, but I love the analogy because it's this simple. I do a lot of consults every week, and there's nothing worse than me feeling like, and all right, now I'll flip it. I wasn't going to go. I feel like I can relate to this now because, like, you know, imagine having the first date, which is the consult, and I like hang up, and I usually, like, our office manager Mary will send the emails with like samples and stuff. So like I'll call Mary and be like, Mary, I feel so great about this one. Like, we connected. I feel like, you know, we are the vibe that she was looking for, and like I feel really good about it. And like sometimes people even tell us, like, I've literally had people tell us, like, before getting off the call that, like, we love everything you said we're booking, and then don't. And like I understand, like, in the moment
Feel is weird,
people
though.
are excited. Oh, there's two parts of this.
Yeah.
But like that person, I care less about that. Maybe they got excited. Maybe we weren't in the budget that we thought they were. There's a million reasons. That's fine. It's the weeks of communication and emails, text messages, phone calls. Now, I will also tell you something.
And then you're like, what was it?
I preach about adding people on social media once they book, but I will not add them on Instagram's a little different, but like I will not be friends with them on Facebook if they don't book us, because then I feel like it's like weird, and like we're friends and they didn't book me, and like,
yeah, but she friended me.
But I don't
then
accept
sent
them.
a message.
I don't accept them.
I know. I panicked.
I
panicked.
I like the and here's the
Because I
thing.
was like, if I respond to the message and I don't respond to the friend request,
Are people that uncomfortable to simply say like, hey, sorry, we went another way?
I think so.
I'm going to go so off script here.
I think so.
My kid joined, see, this is where I'm like not trying to call things out. My kid joined a program. The program wasn't for us, okay? For a sporting thing. And make a long story short, it was a very large program. We think he needs to be something in a much smaller setting. So we pulled him.
Mhm.
But I'm now comparing it to myself, where she's like, so do we send him an email and say he's not coming back? And I'm like, well, there's 50 kids. The whole reason, like, they're not. And I'm like, don't even do it. But now, am I being that same guy? Now, they haven't reached out and said, where's Harry? But like, it's the same thing of, why can't I just send that simple email to this person to say, hey, thanks, but just so you know, we decided we're going to go another way. It's completely different. It's not even near the same, but I was just trying to compare it to myself of something where I don't know why I felt like ick, like that I'm going to like disappoint them by saying that we're not coming back.
Yeah.
And it's the same concept for
it's probably because you're actually in the business and you know how that feels when somebody just ghosts. You have like a thing where you don't want to be that person, because you know how you feel sometimes about the people who do that to you.
When people, I push FaceTimes because I want vibes. I'm all about the vibes. I want to connect with you. I want to see you. I want to read your facial expressions, all of it. So when I start the relationship off with a FaceTime or Google Meets, if you will, it's personal. I always say, if you take anything from the call, I want it to be vibes.
Mhm.
So when I connect with them and we relate 100%, and then like we send them an email an hour later and they ask 2 more questions the same day, I'm like a little kid, like they're emailing us back already. They're excited. They want to work with us. And again, like, I do this a lot. I lower my expectations a lot, so I don't get myself worked up over like, yes, we're going to book all these. And there's some days I could do a ton of them and I'm like, I feel like we're booking every one of them, and I might book one.
Yeah.
All right, like, lower the expectations.
I know. It's hit or miss.
But I definitely think like my favorite thing said on this pod so far is you just saying like, just send a little like, like, why don't
it
ghost?
would be as weird, because it's like,
I think
I can take that, and then if we see you somewhere, then it's no big deal. We understand. We understand when it's an energy thing, when it's just like we just went another way. We felt like it was a better fit elsewhere. Like, totally understand that. Everybody deals with that. But when you just ghost, it makes it weird.
it's even better when it's a friend of a friend, because then you are going to see them again somewhere else. And like, they're the ones that, like, I don't want to say I care even less, but like, I would just want to know, like, you
Yeah.
on the way.
So then you're like, check off the list.
Exactly. Like, and like you said, like,
Yeah.
I've also been to seminars where they're like, send that email again 5-6 times. And, I'm
Yeah, but you don't want to feel like a car salesman about it. You know what I mean?
So it's funny you say this, because I went to this like seminar thing for sales one time, and it was like, send the email X amount of times. And you've quoted a couple of movies already, so I'm going to be a geek and tell you my favorite movie of all time that I'm now putting on the pod. But my favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future. Okay. So this guy's giving this seminar, and he goes, and if you know the movie, he goes, the title of the email that you send on the 5th time is "Where We're Going, We Don't Need Roads." And we're talking about a wedding email to a bride, and the header is "Where We're Going, We Don't Need Roads." And he goes, they're going to open it. And I'm like, this is genius. Now, we don't do it a lot.
You know what mine would be?
What?
If I had to send that 5th email?
Sure.
He's just not that into you.
Oh my God, that's way better than mine. He just took my favorite. There's like 60 people. And I'm like, this guy is like.
I just thought of it as you were saying. I was like, what would mine be?
That in you.
He's just not that into you.
But again, it's going to make them open the email. I've had people, now I've only done it a couple times, and like, maybe we should do it more, but I've had people like email us back, just literally like, LOL, that was funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went another way.
Yeah.
Like,
that's cool.
I like it. Just email us back, people. Just saying sorry, not
just
sorry.
Send them it's always a GIF or a GIF. What is it?
That's another time.
It's GIF. I would just send them the GIF of LL Cool J, just being like,
right. Like,
and
you're an iPhone, right?
I'm an iPhone.
Okay. I tell people I judge Android people. I'm sorry, guys. But when I have
Android people,
there's lots of shade. When I
shame
set up a FaceTime, I always say, like, I send them a text. Hey, this is Harry. I'm going to be calling you. I'm going to be FaceTiming you at this time. When we get off the call, we have a text thread going. So like, we have a conversation. You think of something over dinner and shoot me a text. Like, we start a bond. And, I just love hey, you aren't the guy, whether it's money, budget, survive, all of it.
Guy, just not the guy.
And that's it. I just like the no ghosting. We went on this way longer than we should have, but like,
please, no ghosting. You should put it on your door. No ghosting zone.
So can you tell us how Scooby-Doo falls into this? Because I said we're going to bring it up. So I mean,
this is because of Shayna. This is because of your girl Shayna.
Okay.
I don't normally tell people about the Scooby-Doo, but she told you about the Scooby-Doo. So here we are.
She tried telling me, and I didn't understand it at all. So I figured we were definitely going to talk about it.
Okay. So when I was an artist on Warner, after my album had come out, this was around the era of like the Hilary Duffs and the Lindsay Lohans. Like, you couldn't just be a singer. You also had to be an actress and like all these things, right? I wasn't comfortable acting on camera.
I feel like killing the acting. Well, maybe not acting.
But okay, but this was like 2002, 2003.
I graduated then.
So because I was on Warner Brothers at the time, there was a connection with the Scooby-Doo, like the Cartoon Network kind of.
Okay.
And this opportunity came along that I thought would be fun because it would kind of ease me into the acting thing.
Okay.
And it was doing a voiceover. And basically, it's an episode. It's called Reva Ross Regis.
Okay.
Where the Scooby-Doo gang solves a mystery at a Lindsay Pagano concert.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. You can look it up. I did the voice for it. I sang the songs in it. They drew me a cartoon version. It was a cartoon version of my album cover. So like, people who do know me, they see the cartoon version. It's like, I know that jacket. I still own that jacket. And now it's like one of those cool things. At the time, I was like 14 and I was like, I don't want to be in a cartoon really, because like it's for kids.
Right.
Now it's like something that people always bring up, because when they Google me,
That's awesome.
They see the cartoon version and they're immediately just like, what the hell was this? And so now it's kind of like, it's cool because the episode still runs. And a lot of times if my phone goes off on a Sunday morning,
it's because someone
I know that Scooby-Doo is on.
That's kind of cool.
And
that's worth paying.
So it's cool. It's just like a cool thing that I got to do.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah. You know what another thing that I don't understand about weddings sometimes is?
Hit me.
It's not really a peeve. I just don't understand.
I like the peas. This is what people come for. This is, you know what I've never said on the pod? The tea. The tea. Give me the tea.
Give me the tea. You know what I just don't understand?
Please.
I always know that a party's about to die when they come in there and they say, we're going to do this, we're going to have parents' dances, then we're going to do some speeches, and then you guys are going to play a set, and then after dinner, there's going to be dessert in another room.
We're in a computer.
What I don't understand sometimes how after all this time, if in the wedding circuit that I've been watching a party completely dissipate, that the other people that are running the party don't see that kills a party. It is like the kiss of death. It is the kiss of death when they go, and then we're gonna announce that dessert is all the way in the next building.
Have you heard of Joey Cannoli?
No.
Okay. We just had Joey Cannoli on recently.
Does he know?
Okay. Joey Cannoli is a guy that dresses up and comes to your wedding and gives out cannolis on the dance floor. It's the greatest thing ever. Okay. And we were just talking about...
I hire him for anything, not just a wedding.
We were just talking about how we hate when they take everyone away for the desserts, and we were talking about less desserts in the other room and finger desserts given out by people who are still on the dance floor. It's like such a...
It's like, what would you love more? Being on a dance floor with Pitbull playing and you have a cannoli in your hand and a glass of champagne? Like, the only thing that make that better is a dog. Like, I don't... Okay, so hot take on like trendy at the moment.
Yeah,
in the moment songs.
Yeah, sure.
I kind of like them because I think that's how songs like Mr. Brightside were birthed. Like songs that become timeless, they don't really get there unless they're in that beginning stage of like, we're going to try this because it's hot right now,
Sure.
You could find your next Mr. Brightside, and I think the next Mr. Brightside is going to be Pink Pony Club. Against my wishes.
I have so many.
It's Pink Pony Club now. There's no wedding that doesn't ask for it. I haven't seen it on a do not playlist.
In 2025, and we're at the very end of 2025, it has probably been played at 95% of weddings.
Mm-hmm.
We've done multiple weddings where people have incorporated things into their wedding for Pink Pony Club. Blow up pink ponies and cowboy pink hats and the whole 9 yards. But
love it. I hate it, but I love it.
Do I think it's going to be around in 20 years like Mr. Brightside is? Mr. Brightside could be easily on the list of wedding cliche songs that I'm still here for it every single time. And I don't know if because I grew up, it came out when I was in my prime, if you will, and it's like a song of my lifetime that I just rage every single time.
It's painfully infectious.
But I hate Don't Stop Believing by Journey, and is my kid going to be like, Dad, you really still like Mr. Brightside in a couple years? So I don't know, but
it's hard for me because I played Mr. Brightside in weddings, and then I also played it in my club band.
And it slaps the same just as much. And I guarantee you say this to any bar band, they're going to say the same thing. Pink Pony Club slaps every single time.
I could hear, it's not one of those things that I'm super over just yet. Like, my boyfriend wants to hear it just when he's out for Sunday Fun Day, just wants to hear it. I think it's just one of those things. I've just accepted that Mr. Brightside is going to be a part of my life.
Sure.
And it's kind of like the ex that I thought was going to be an ex, but is still no longer an ex. Like, I thought coming back to weddings that it wouldn't be a thing.
Right.
It's still a thing. It's okay. I agree with you that I think Pink Pony Club, it will be around for a while. But
here's the thing. All right. Is Pink, I guess the answer is yes already. Hot to Go was hot for a hot minute.
Mhm.
And Pink Pony Club surpassed that. Same artist.
Definitely.
Okay. But songs that are in the 2020s, if you will, that I think are comparable to the cliches of back in the day, and I've said this on other pods before, are like Shut Up and Dance. And
Oh yeah.
a lot of Bruno Mars is starting to be coming on some of these too now.
Oh yeah. Uptown Funk for
Uptown Funk and
Shut Up and
Funk
Dance.
and Shut Up and Dance are two songs that'll probably still be played at weddings in 20 years. That'll be on a lot of do
We
not.
Found Love, Rihanna.
See, I agree. That's
It's
definitely an overplayed song.
People, when
But
they hear that, dun, dun, dun,
I
dun,
I
it's
can
like
still
the
vibe
first
it.
time they ever heard it.
Yeah.
Still.
That's fair. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So I think the last question I got for the day is, this is a wedding podcast for upcoming couples. And, I'm always asking people in the biz, what's any tips, tricks, or things that you can help them for listening today to give them one extra, thing for their wedding?
I would say, I don't know how this is going to sound. I would say that I've never planned a wedding, but I've helped people plan weddings. And one thing I would say is that I see a lot of brides getting so wrapped up in like every tiny little detail and wanting to almost kind of like micromanage the situation. And I think it ends up stressing them out to the point where it almost like ruins some of the time they have on the day of. So I would say if you go into your wedding confident with the person or the people that you've hired to handle your wedding, you make that decision because you've seen their work and you feel good about it. Lay out what you want, like your bullet points, and then trust them to do that.
Yeah.
Because if you stress out about every tiny little thing, that whole day is going to pass by, and like those are things you're not even going to remember the day of.
Right.
And so just know that like you hired professionals and they know what they're doing, and you just enjoy yourself with your family and have the best time that you possibly can, and get a really good photographer to document it.
Yeah. I mean, all facts.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's over in a flash, as you said.
It is.
And
all that planning, and it's over in 24 hours.
And there's so many things people harp on that are little things that aren't going to mean shit that you're not even going to remember. And it's a good one. Good advice.
For sure.
Lindsay Pagano of the HeartBeats. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, man. We're out.